Welcome into episode 38 of Chillin for Our Lives. I'm your host, ElectricityWave, and I'm here today with Mr. Stadium Beats. How are you feeling today? How is everything?
I'm feeling pretty good today, man. I don't know about everything, but I'm feeling pretty good in general. What about you? What about you?
I'm excited for you to record your first episode 38. So
yeah. So this is my third podcast I've ever done. Third podcast I've ever done, and both of the other two ended on episode 37 for one reason or another.
Okay, that's
I don't know. I know what Monk-S is, but I don't know its context.
Just every time something's like kind of scary or like trippy, it's just like, oh god,
damn. So something's gonna happen this episode. One of us is gonna burst into flames. Or some car is gonna fly through my third-story window or something like that. Something's gonna happen.
I was thinking about that like throughout the week. I was like, I hope one of us doesn't die this week so we can record episode 38.
Yeah, next week is fine, just not this week. Yeah. One of us can die next week. That's okay.
But I mean, the entire years felt like episode 38. So
yeah, 2020 is one long episode 38.
Yeah. So what's been up with the music or just life in general? Anything happened within the past week?
Kinda. I put out a mass tweet on whatever day, saying that I need some singers, man. I need singers because I'm not gonna sing. I'm sure as hell ain't no rapper. So I want to make these. I'm making all these songs, but I don't want to just make like instrumentals and stuff. I want people to sing over them. So I've just put out this mass tweet. And I got some great responses. Everyone that recommended somebody or that jumped in themselves and was like, yo, I'd like to work with you or something. Like I got like great stuff, man. Like I was looking at, you guys got your YouTubes or your SoundClouds, or one person even had a Bandcamp all set up. It was great. And we've got some great singers in our community, I'll tell you. So I'm hitting them up and trying to get something going. I'm working on some pop songs to try to expand my horizons. And so that stuff, that's been pretty good musically. I've made I took a long break. I mean, not long, but I guess for me it was pretty long. I went like a week or a week and a half probably without even opening Reaper. And but the past 2 days I've made 4 new things. So we back on it, man. The Last of Us 2 gave me like it like put everything on a halt. But now we're back in it.
You can't blame it though. That's a once in a lifetime type of game.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I wanted. That was on me. That was like I did that. It's like, The Last of Us 2 is out. Nothing else exists. So let's do this.
That's sick though. Like right after you play that game and then you throw out like, hey, is anyone down? Do we have any singers? And then you got like that. I saw it was like a nice little response from a couple people, and the fact that they're like talented is really good too. So it's got to like spark like a lot of inspiration for you to like make new stuff, because you're like, oh shit, this is like a new avenue, because I haven't worked with too many vocals.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to put out like I'm going to start to throw together an album, like a Marshmello style album where like there's like it's not just, oh, I'm producing for this girl and the album is she does vocals on every song or whatever. It's like this person is featuring this artist, or this song is this artist, or this song is this artist. This song might be just an instrumental. This song is whatever, rap, pop, anything.
I'm pumped for that.
So I want to try to start throwing that together, because the R&B album that I was working on is like stuck in the weirdest limbo ever. So I want to put out a song with vocals in it, like a song that you would hear on the radio, or for me to be able to go to my family and is like, I made this. Because right now, if I just give them like some cool sounding like hip hop beat or whatever, they're like, what is this? So, because to the general public, a song doesn't exist until it has vocals with it. If they can't sing along to it, then fuck that song. So I want to get some singy songs out there.
Right. It's more of a song if it's just an acapella and had just vocals.
Yeah, I could give you like a full Beethoven's Ninth, and then they're like, bruh. But then if you give them Ariana Grande going ooh ah over a basic drum pattern, then that's way better. So,
yeah, well, that's cool. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with that, because, like you said, we haven't really seen too much of you with vocals, so that's gonna be like a whole new thing. So hopefully that gets the wheels turning soon, so then we can start to like promote it and just like play it on stream or whatever.
Yeah, I hope it'll obviously be completely DMCA free because I'm gonna own it. So you guys will be able to play all that on your Twitch and stuff. And I think it should go well because I'm like in control of all of it. The only issue is that I'm going to be working with so many other, like I could be working with like 10 different vocalists. So it's going to be up to them too before I can collectively put it all together. So I'm hoping that it goes well because I'm handling all of the music, but I feel like putting together all of these people and getting it done sounds difficult, and it's hard to trust these people that I've never even met in person. So we'll see, but I've got high hopes.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, anything happened to you past week?
No, not that I can think of.
Mainly just, music.
Yeah, just that. I'm starting to replay a few games that I want to get through just for the fun of it because they're masterpieces. Just waiting on Ghost of Tsushima. Playing Mortal Kombat a lot these days, just kind of, living the quarantine life still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna like expand even longer too with everything coming out. So,
dude, this bar near me, this picture went out like 2 weeks ago. I think there was this bar that was open, and there was a huge ass line outside of it, like it was from a year ago.
So dumb.
Full of people. All right next to each other, and let's say there's 100 people in this line, maybe 5 of those people are wearing masks. So that picture started making its rounds, and it's like, look at all these dumbasses or whatever. And then it kind of like, oh well, after a couple days, everybody forgot about it. But then a few days ago, as of today, I think 109 coronavirus cases have stemmed from that bar. So, Yep. So we're right back in, the thick of it, man. Who knew?
Fucking idiots, dude.
People are so stupid.
People just think like it was just like a hoax after a while.
Yeah, or like I'm over it, so it doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Like I'm so done with this, and now so I'm just gonna go out and like, oh well.
It's just a mental thing, honestly. Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like once you overcome that, then you can't get it.
Yeah, as long as you don't care about the disease, then it like stays away from you.
Mm-hmm. Don't pay mind to that corona.
Yeah, the virus can tell. It's like, it's attracted to fear. It can smell fear. So if you're worried about it, it's gonna come get you.
You see someone running from it?
Yeah, it's a swarm of coronavirus.
Yeah.
Just flying
it's
after bees.
It's a bunch of yellow bottles with limes in them. Dude, there's this meme where it was someone was like, every customer that comes in and says, I'll take a Corona, hold the virus, and they're just dying laughing. It was so funny.
Dude, like that's hilarious.
Yeah, like someone in the restaurant business, they'll think like something is funny when it's been said like a billion times.
Yep.
It's the worst.
Yeah, and like I have so many of those as a server.
Yeah.
The one I hear the most probably is at the end. I work at Red Lobster, as the people know, and there's like we give out pretty big meals at Red Lobster. That's one thing I have to give them credit for. Is I feel like you get your money's worth when you go there. So 9 times out of 10, everyone that leaves there is like super full, and I'm like, "Can I get you anything else?" Almost every time they're like, "Oh, I need a wheelbarrow to get me out of here." Mm-hmm. Like, bruh, maybe on my first day that was funny, but after 5 years of hearing that joke, I'm sorry. I'm not giving you anything. It's
almost like they have like a Facebook group, and like one person posted the meme and pinned it, and they all like read it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna say that when I go out to eat." Like I can't wait.
Genius.
Yeah. It's so funny to think about how like the average person is so dumb and thinks they're so funny and so witty. Like they're just so out of like consciousness.
Yeah.
Like they just don't understand. I don't know.
It is weird too, though, because like, obviously I know you're joking about the Facebook group thing, but it's like they probably haven't heard that joke from somebody else, like that's probably just like it's just like the obvious thing to say, I guess, maybe. Like is like with something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, no, I've never heard anybody say that before. That's just what came to my mind. But then it's like it's weird that so many people can have that exact same thought in that same situation.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's the same thing when they're just like, "Can I get anything else?" And they're like $1 million. It's just like the thing.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe they heard like just like from generation to generation, they've like handed down bad jokes in public. So I don't know. It's just funny to think about that. Like I don't know. It's so weird how like when I'm like going out and like driving now, like I used to when I was younger, I used to always be like I would say like self-conscious about like if I was singing or dancing and someone staring at me.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like, dude, these people are literally the same thing as like when you're in The Witcher and you're like you can fuck with like or you can just like run around and like all those NPCs are kind of just living their life. Like they don't matter to the story at all.
Yep.
That's kind of how I like view the normal person. Like
they're just an extra.
Whatever I could do a dance. Like now I can see why people like will go in the middle of a mall and do a dance, because like the opinions of the other people does not matter. They're gonna giggle or say something maybe, but like, oh well.
Yep.
You'll never see him again. So
never see him again.
I used to always wonder like how people could do that shit in public, and I'm like, oh, because like literally everyone else doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do hate and I do hate that we live in the era now where if you do something like that, you do have a pretty good chance of being recorded as well, which you could also have the same mindset of like, well, who cares, which is great. But like I saw a video yesterday that was making its rounds of this girl who went to a gas station and she couldn't for the life of her figure out how to get her car lined up the right way of having the gas pump on the same side as her gas cap, you know, her gas tank.
Yeah.
So it was this like couple, it sounded like a husband and wife. They were like commentating it basically and just watching her try so hard to get her car lined up the right way. She kept pulling out and going around, and she would always line like 4 times in a row. Yeah. So like she obviously, this girl might be super smart. Who knows? She might just have had like some big mental lapse or whatever and just couldn't figure this thing out for whatever reason. But instead of her being able to just have that dumbass moment by like in public, it happened. Oh, well, we're all going to move on. But now 7 million people have seen her have that moment, and that sucks. Like in the long run, who cares? Everyone just had a quick laugh and moved on. But I hate that you have to worry about like, dude, like I'm fucking up right now. You have to like look around, like who's watching this? Is the whole internet? Am I gonna become a meme tomorrow now because I can't figure out where the hell my gas cap is?
Dude, I hate that. I mean, you can look at it either way. For me, it's just like, I don't know. I'm the first person to laugh at myself, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know. I just am so over the high school like mentality of like being judged. Like if 8 billion people saw me trip and fall, oh well. Like I just don't. It doesn't matter. Like. But I get what you mean, but it's just like, it happens. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Like, I would be the first person to comment on that and be like, wow, what a dumbass. And it'd be funny because it'd be me.
Right.
So, like, I don't know. I would take advantage of it, like, any way I could, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, the past week. So, like, we both talked about The Last of Us 2 last week and then just our experience with that. And if you guys want to watch that, there's a bunch of spoilers in that. But post like The Last of Us 2, it's so weird because now I'm kind of like, damn, what do I play next? And it's kind of just been like I don't know, back to Apex, maybe here and there of like Call of Duty. But like I'm kind of just waiting for all of these games that we're like excited for like later in the year. So it's like, it's a weird, I don't know if this is going to happen after Ghost of Tsushima, if I get that too. Like, is it just going to be like, I'm going to play this awesome game, and then there's going to be like a week or two of just emptiness where I'll just like, fuck, I'm back to like not knowing really what to play. So.
Yeah, there probably will be those things, like, because in let's say in the very short term, you were looking forward to what? Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, and Horizon, right? On PC. So like those are only 3 games, and they're all pretty long games actually. So, well, I mean, I guess we can assume that Ghost of Tsushima is going to be pretty long. So those are 3 pretty long games. So they'll take up a lot of your time. But yeah, I mean, it is the summer. So the summer drought doesn't exist like it used to, but it is still kind of there. But you're in a situation where there are so many games that you haven't played that are like really well received. So you could just jump from game to game. That would probably cost you a lot of money. But yeah, and since The Last of Us 2 has come and gone, it is kind of just back to status quo, like playing Apex and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the biggest game that it's kind of like grabbing me that I can't pull the trigger on right now is the Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Like, but I would have to get an SSD and I would have to buy the game for $60, so that's like close to $100. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I don't
Well,
know.
so you could theoretically, at least while you're playing Zelda, you could basically delete every game on your Switch except for Mario Kart. I guess you could
Just
do
archive
that.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, so because you have, I think it comes with 32 gigs, I think, and Zelda is 15 gigs, I'm pretty sure, and Mario Kart is only like between 3 and 6 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could have just those two games on your system because you don't really play any other Switch games right now, right?
Not really.
Yeah, so if you archive them, then you'll have the data and everything still. So you'd just be able to get them back, like Smash Bros. You know, that's a fun game to just be able to pull up whenever, since everyone and their mother knows how to play Smash Bros.
Yeah. Right.
But then the other big obstacle is the fact that it's $60 and will be for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, it's just like, fuck. I know it'd probably be worth it still because it's like a long ass, big ass game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably be able to play it for like, I don't even know, 10 to 20 streams.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on, it just depends on if I played it for 8 hours a time, then probably not. But
damn.
I guess it just depends on the approach. But I don't know. I guess I'll just figure it out. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't know why I even brought it up, but it's crazy to go from playing like The Last of Us 2 and just like a fucking 25-hour long game where you just don't know what's gonna happen to just dying in Apex or the Gulag.
Yeah.
Like the clip I posted on Twitter today where I just had the most enraging moment of all time on Call of Duty.
Ooh, I gotta look that up.
Yeah, so basically what happened is I was in the Gulag and there was this guy, like the server was kind of laggy. So I'm like pushing, I go to the right. He's not in his spawn. So I go all the way back around and he's on the side and I'm like, he's not moving. He's like, I think he's like camping or something. So I like go up behind him and I just start spraying him, but he's not dying. So then I like look at the camera. I'm like, what the okay, obviously we're lagging. So then like 5 seconds go by. I unload an entire clip into him. The game comes back. I kill him. I was like, dude, we were both lagging. We didn't know where the fuck we were, like in the game. So then after you win the Gulag, you go like obviously like you'll skydive back onto the map. So I was like,
can't even imagine where this is going.
So I was like, dude, that was the weirdest shit ever. Like I was just lagging. So then I finally like go back to log in, like, or to like click on my guy to like play again, and I'm like out of zone, I guess. So then I like control to like go to the direction to go to the zone, and I die before I even get to the zone. And I just look, and I'm just like head, just face palm, just like, dude, I fucking hate this game.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, it's really fun, but that shit was like, I was like, it's gonna be a short night.
That's infuriating.
Yeah, stuff like that. But do you want to get into kind of what happened today and recently with just streaming and stuff?
Let's do it, man. Let's be topical.
All right. I really thought you were gonna say let's be toxic, but
no, let's be topical. We can be toxic too. No, I think if you're on the toxic side of this argument, that's pretty toxic, bro. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk? Do you want to start
with
a
nothing statement that was?
I know. I think everyone's just more confused. But basically, what happened was, I'm gonna like, I don't have like, I didn't fucking research this shit like 100% and go into every article and grab all the context, but I got the gist of it, and I'm not gonna make any like crazy opinions, so like it doesn't matter. Because I'm just a guy.
I feel like the argument itself, probably, and the topic itself doesn't really matter. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is gonna go away in 10 minutes, but it is fun.
Yeah, it's more of just like funny how it like escalated. So basically, I guess a streamer named xQc. He's one of the biggest streamers on the platform. He was just talking about how bigger streamers get paid for charity streams sometimes, and someone brought up the fact that, oh, that makes sense of why Dr. Lupo like donates 25K or whatever, and it kind of takes away from it. And then Dr. Lupo like commented on it and was just like, well, I just want to like let you guys know, like, I've never been paid for an event. Like, all of this is like sincere, genuine charity where I just want to help out St. Jude, you know?
Right.
And
he should, because a lot of his brand, I think, is around charity and stuff. So I feel like it was good for him to come out like right away and be like, nah, I'm legit. And I think he's built up a credibility of himself where that's like pretty believable. I think it'd be pretty easy to like well, now that this is a topic, at least it'd be pretty easy to figure out whether or not he has been paid or he didn't. St. Jude would easily be able to say like, well, he said he donated 1.5 million, but we actually only got like 750,000. Like, I feel like that would be disproven pretty quickly. So it's good on Dr. Lupo to get ahead of it, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Dr. Lupo like quoted the Reddit thing, which nothing ever good comes out of Reddit, honestly.
Right.
Like an argument from Reddit, but basically, so right after he posted that and quoted it, like the picture and everything, and said like he's never been paid to raise money for St. Jude, then Ninja's wife Jessica Blevins commented on it and was just like going off on xQc, basically saying he always has trash to say and all this stuff, and then xQc claps back and was just like it was just escalated into this thing, and then Ninja got into it. And then Alinity said something about like, oh, it's these two or these two, like I'm Team Ninja's losing. And then Ninja was like, don't you have a cat to go abuse? And it's just like, it was just like this whole thing, like to just wake up to. I was just like, geez, like I've never been the person that ever care about drama. Like it never affects me. I'm never involved, or like, I don't need to like, I don't care about what other people are really doing. If they're doing good for themselves, that's awesome. But like, drama's not my thing. But it was just funny to see like how that all happened like within like an hour or two. I was just like, geez.
Yeah, and it's fun to just see real quick sometimes. And your Twitch chat says that they want more drama talk on the pod. So we got a little gift.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I guess I don't read my chat.
Damn, I thought we had that. We had this whole, I mean, maybe not. Yeah, I could have swore we had a conversation a few nights ago on stream where if something like we should talk about it. We should talk about stuff like this more. Like,
I know that me and you did. I don't remember anyone in chat saying it, but if you remember,
I think so.
You remember? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, so I don't know. xQc probably just wanted to finally have something news related that he was in besides getting destroyed in 6 moves by Critical in a big chess tournament. So he's probably, and I don't know anything about xQc, but apparently, like, I've heard that his community isn't exactly the most wholesome. So like,
I love the way you put that. It's the most roundabout way to just say it's toxic.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't know. So like, yeah, I don't want to say that he has the worst community ever without actually experiencing it. But
right,
yeah. So that's like the vibe around it. And Ninja only got involved because he started talking shit to his wife. xQc started talking shit to Ninja's wife. So like, obviously Ninja's gonna hop in at that point. And then I don't know, from there it just kind of escalates. But it sucks how it just so quickly it can just go from something nice to like, no, like I don't get, like, we almost never ever have I heard of somebody getting paid to do a charity stream, and now it's just this big ass thing for an hour of name calling back and forth, and everyone, all the comments are like, oh, I'm Team Ninja now, and I'm looking at this gif of Big E from the WWE eating popcorn. Like, people are just hyped to like watch all these people go at it, and it's like, I don't know, and people just fiend for this. Isn't Twitter the best?
Yeah, and the worst. It's funny how like, oh fuck, what I was gonna say about the damn it, I legit had it, but I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn. Oh yeah, it's funny to think about like Dr. Lupo just like defending himself, just saying, yeah, I don't, or whatever, like, and then Dr. Lupo commented under it was like, he's like, I also didn't go and watch like the full clip for context, like that's my bad. Like he was apologizing to xQc, and then all these people are just fucking like Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Just going in at each other, and Dr. Lupo is just like, dude, I was just trying to say I don't get paid.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Turned into this thing.
As far as I've seen, Lupo hasn't said anything else. Like he's just like, you know, because I feel like it'd be out of character for him. So to just like clap back. So like, yeah, it's cool that he just did what he did and then just chilled. I feel like that's the route that I would take if I was him.
Yeah, there's a clip of him. I think it was Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman were like yelling at each other, and I think Ninja might have even been in it. And they're in Call of Duty game, I think. And they're just kind of like saying like, my friend didn't even invite me to the Warzone tournament. And Dr. Lupo's just sitting there like drinking coffee, staring at the camera, like just so chill. Yeah. So it's like, it's funny to see like how that is, how some people like react to that stuff. That's kind of how I am. I don't like, unless someone like attacked like my friend or like tried to just piss me off or something, then like for the most part, I'm just like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like
this would be a good thing though for like if the whole streamers getting paid to do charity streams, if that is a real thing, then that would be great to come to light because that's scummy as hell. But it is good to see that at least from people who seem to know what they're talking about, it seems like charity streams are on the up and up and all good. So that's good to hear. Because
yeah, I think,
like, sorry, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say real quick on that point is I think if a streamer was ever to get paid for a charity event, they should just like be open about it. So then that would make it like that wouldn't make it scummy if they were just like, hey, like this company came to me, they wanted me to raise money, they gave me money to donate. I'll also throw in some of my money, but I just want to let you guys know like this is the deal that happened. Like or like I feel like that'd be a lot better than just someone hiding at something, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like full transparency is always nice. And yeah, like if they paid Dr. Lupo 10 grand to like, let's say Activision paid just full, like I'm just throwing these names out there. Let's say Activision paid Dr. Lupo $10,000 to do a charity stream, and that charity stream raised $1.5 million or something, then that's great. Like as long as he doesn't hide it, then like, because let's say Activision paid him because he's going to play Overwatch the whole time, let's say. So like that's that's totally cool. They're gonna pay this guy 10,000. We raised 1.5 million. It's beautiful. Everybody wins. So that would be great. I wouldn't have any issues with that. But he doesn't get paid anything or anyone. Just according to Jessica Blevins, she's never heard of anybody getting paid to do it. So
I haven't either.
Yeah. So it's cool.
I have heard of people like getting the charity money. I don't know specific people, but I've just heard like stories of people like holding like just taking the charity money and not even donating. I'm like, dude, that's so like toxic.
Yeah, it is.
Like there's just people that are in need and you're just taking money, and like the way that you're framing it, it's just like, dude, that's the worst type of person.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, let's say if they don't have very much money, but then they do like a big Twitch stream and they raise like $20,000. So I now have $20,000, and then go like writing a check out or whatever for 20,000. I could see somebody being like, man, this is a lot of money. Wait, maybe I'll just write it out for 15,000.
Right. I do need a new monitor.
Yeah.
They're just trying to like reason with themselves.
Right. So yeah, I could totally see, not that I'm saying it's right, but I'm just saying I could see somebody doing that, and that shit sucks. But they should also have to stream like them sending out the money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it when I see people post screenshots of them donating the money and then like submitting it. Like,
yeah, that used to be. Yeah, that used to be what Critical used to do. Critical used to donate 100% of his YouTube money.
Crazy.
Yeah, before he was like a social media person, before anybody knew what he looked like, before he is the Critical that he is today. His Twitter was only like a screenshot of like, here's how much I made, here's me sending them the money, like this is the charity, because he did a different charity every month. That was the only thing he like ever tweeted. So that was pretty cool. But now it's totally different now.
Did he? So if he gave all of his money up, how did he make a living? Like,
I have no idea.
How did he pay bills?
I don't know. He must have just had like a job or something. I don't know.
That or maybe, or I could see like sponsors maybe, just like I don't know.
Yeah, he might have like rich parents. Like I have no idea. He's more open. He's not as closed off as he used to be, but I don't know how widely known it is if he was born into a rich family or whatever. I have no idea. But yeah.
Speaking on like, okay, so earlier when you said like the podcast needs to talk about like, it doesn't need to, but we're gonna like try to throw in like some like topical stuff. And sometimes, or most of the times, it's drama related or something crazy happened. I just like want to kind of say how much I think it affects streamers or content creators like me by not giving a fuck or always having the strongest opinion and using like logic, because I've seen like people grow based off of just posting the most emotional, like, this is the stance, if you don't believe this, then fuck you. Like basically the fucking Talladega Nights approach, where if you don't chew big red gum or whatever, fuck you.
Yeah.
So like they do that type of approach for every topic of everything. So like people are like agreeing with it because it's like such a strong way of leaning left or right or whatever, which way the argument is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It hurts people that are just like laid back like myself, that just don't really put too much mind into negative stuff and consuming like all this drama and stuff. Like if that's your niche and you thrive off it, good for you. But like I see people that kind of just force it because they know it's gonna farm impressions.
Exactly.
And it's like it's super like disappointing to see creators do that, because the whole point of being a content creator is to, you know, create content. And I think like creators just they just go about it the wrong way. Twitter's supposed to be, and social media is supposed to be like a way to connect with your followers and other people on the platform, rather than just preaching all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just kind of like it sucks to see that all the time, and that's why I have like probably 57 people muted on Twitter, and it's going to continue to rise. Yeah, I don't know, it's just like something that it really like irks me to see that. I wish like, because when I first came into streaming, people were so like opening and laid back, and you didn't have to think about what's going on really in the world, as far as like you go on Facebook, that's all it is arguments and fucking paragraphs and novels and all this shit.
Yeah.
Like I came to Twitter to like laugh about like how someone shaped an orange into boobs or something stupid. Like it's all about memes, and like it's not about like just arguing all the time. And I think Twitter's really like turned into that kind of platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just that type of stuff. And then like another big disappointing thing that I see is when I'll literally see a viral tweet where it'll say something like so simple, and then I'll see someone like that I follow copy that tweet 5 minutes later and post it, and I'm just like, what does this do? You know, like how do you feel like satisfaction from like literally copying and pasting something? That's like the least amount of effort and creativity you could possibly have, and you call yourself a content creator. Like, dude, that's the easiest way to get an unfollow, or just I lose so much respect for people that copy tweets, or like they'll change one word in it, or like they'll just use all this like content that's not even theirs. They'll take like, they never post videos of them being funny or like saying something. It's always something else. Like, I don't know. It's just like, dude, it's not content creation.
Yeah, it's just all about seeing that follower number go up, like in any means necessary.
That's literally all it is. If there's no such thing as a follower count, then that you would never see it.
Yeah, I like the idea. I don't know if they ever went through with it, but I liked the idea that Instagram was toying around with, where they were gonna not show a like counter like on a picture. I think that's like, I don't know if it would really do anything, but I think it'd be a good idea to experiment with. Yeah. But what you were saying with like the people that just have like, if you don't shoot big red gun, then fuck you, that kind of mentality. It's just like in the real world, where like the loudest person in the room has the most attention, right? Like whether or not like half the people are going to be laughing with them and the other half are going to be sitting back saying, wow, this fucking guy is annoying, right? So luckily I do like there is an audience for the more chilled, laid back personalities like what you're doing. So like, but it does seem like the people that are the loudest get the most, like they definitely get the most attention, which sucks because it's just so easy, like to just tweet in all caps, like, I don't know, Ninja's the most toxic person in gaming or whatever, just saying something, just
anything.
Like, just something like that. So it's like, it does seem like an easy route. And for a lot of people it does work. And for a lot of people it doesn't work. It just depends. But yeah, Twitter is definitely like feeds that, and for it to be such like a short form content like that, it kind of like thrives off that kind of thing. You can't construct a perfect argument in 160 characters or whatever it is.
Yeah, and like people will literally like quote, like grab a piece of video and then throw some like clickbaity title, or they'll throw like something out of context, like some article or whatever. And literally 99 times out of 100, I'll go and read it. And the way that they formatted it was like the 100 people that don't even click on it or read any of it are going to be pissed. But the one person like me that will go and like look through context will see how wrong they were. And it's just like that type of stuff, man. It's so disappointing to see.
Yeah. And something else that I hate to see is, let's say they do have that kind of post where they post like this really long, really well thought out argument, and then let's say they use the wrong "your" in like throughout the whole thing, they like misspelled something or used the wrong your, and then somebody will comment with the little asterisk and then the right your to correct their grammar, and that post has like 10,000 likes or whatever. Like, boom,
So
you
fucking
got
stupid.
him, dude. You got him, bro. Hell yeah, high fives all around, you know? Like, well, what about everything that I said in that argument? Like, you can't discredit my entire argument because I had a typo or I misspelled a word or something like that.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. It's all about, Twitter thrives off clapbacks, like nice little one-liners and shit. Like, you could have no argument, you present no solution, you don't advance anything, but because I got you, bro, I win, like in the core of public opinion, and that shit is annoying.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm about to delete my Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I've looked at that. Are you sure you want to delete your account? I've looked at that page like 3 different times. I'm like,
if it wasn't so crucial to, I don't know. There's like so many good things about it though too. Like I get to talk to people and stuff. Like even if it wasn't crucial to my career, I still might use it. But yeah, it's just certain stuff like that that just kind of it gets overused and annoying sometimes.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it might take a month or something. It depends on how the algorithm works, but you could probably go about formulating Twitter in a way to where it's not like that, at least for your own personal experience. I think I'm gonna stop clicking on trends, and I'm gonna unfollow anyone who like constantly brings negative things into my timeline, even if I agree with them. Like, for example, I follow Ice-T on Twitter, who is fantastic. Ice-T is one of the best follows on Twitter. Highly recommend. He's at Final Level, I think. He constantly points out, he has like his dumb fuck of the day, and he tweets about video game stuff. Like, Ice-T is awesome. But because he makes fun of all these dumbass people, it makes me see all these dumbass people. So I love what Ice-T is doing, but he's bringing all of that to me that I don't want to see. So I think I'm going to unfollow Ice-T, even though he's awesome. He doesn't need my follow. He's totally fine. So I think I'm going to start weeding out those people and just try to figure out some kind of way to have my timeline be just stuff that I care about. You know, I know not everything is the unicorns and rainbows and it can't all be positive, but I just want to get lost in my hobbies and do my own thing. And I don't want to hear about all that, jazz. Just dumbass people.
Isn't it funny how that the saying is all that jazz?
Yeah.
Like people that play the saxophone and are in that music like genre are probably like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder where that started.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like some old people were like, you know, all those kids and like this, they got this, that, and all that jazz. Like,
yeah, they like made a band.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that you were saying about like Twitter is like the way you could like formulate it to like for yourself, so it's not like toxic and negative all the time. It's like the same thing that I try to do with like my community, like on Twitch, because you can easily, you know, let 1 or 2 toxic people constantly say shit to you or whatever and not ban them or whatever, and kind of just tolerate it because you're like, oh, it's only 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And then the like people come in or like people that have real toxic mods, they'll see how the mods talk to the streamer, and then they'll kind of like add into it. And then like it just gets worse and worse before you know it. Like even though you've grown in numbers, you have like such a toxic community when you can cut that shit out real quick.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's like the big thing for me is like, yeah, we'll roast each other and have fun or whatever. But if someone gets too toxic, dude, I'll like, all right, let's talk about you for a second, you know, like, and if it gets bad where they start like, you know, that I don't need them in my chat, like I'll just ban them. It's not a big deal, you know?
Yeah. You don't need, you'll never be desperate enough to where you need that one person to you can just tolerate his bullshit or her bullshit. Like I've seen it. You can formulate a good, wholesome, positive, great community, no matter how big you get. Like I've seen it happen. It's possible. They're like, I'm always the first person to yell about how toxic people are in comments and all that stuff. But you can get a great group of people from the smallest streamers to the biggest streamers can have amazing communities. So like it is on the streamer or the content creator or whoever, like the runner of the YouTube channel or whatever. Like it is on them to help. If that's the kind of community that they want, then it is very possible. So I think it's worth fighting the good fight, I think.
Yeah, and like once you have that community full of like good people, the person that like is a troll, like they stick out like a sore thumb. So then they just get an easy ban. And like another thing I realized was like one of the streamers named Greek God X. He used to average like a lot higher number, but his community was just so like toxic and just like, I don't know. I think he talked about it where he was just, it made him really unhappy, and he started like streaming Call of Duty, and he's like, I don't give a fuck if I have, you know, like hardly any viewers. I just want a wholesome community. And like you can see it when you like when I go into a stream every once in a while, I can see like his community is way more supportive than they used to be back when he used to play with like Tyler One and stuff, and his attitudes changed, and like he lost all that weight and stuff. So like it's possible to change it. So I don't know. It's cool to see that. I think streamers are a lot happier when their streams are like supportive and wholesome.
Yeah, you don't want to just read a bunch of like toxic stuff the whole time you're streaming, because like that you feed off of chat's energy. So like if that's the energy, then that's, you know, that's gonna affect you a little bit. So and when I hate when you can go too far though, to where if somebody comes in and they're like kind of negative towards the streamer or towards the game or whatever, and then there's just the mob mentality of fuck this person, you know, this one person that's coming in. I hate when like everyone can be positive and think that the streamer is great and all that stuff, and I think that's awesome, but then when they treat them like a god, like I feel like maybe Dr. Disrespect's community maybe has this a little bit, then it's like that is when you go way too far. So it's nice to find that balance.
That's when it feeds into ego.
Oh yeah, like
bad.
But I have an ego.
It's hard for people to not catch that ego, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people just don't get humbled enough, and they don't reality check enough.
Yeah.
And kind of just realize it. But I think if you get success too fast, then that's the most dangerous. Like if I would have gained like 1 million followers within my first year, I would have been battling an ego probably in the beginning, just because it's like so much pressure and all these people that are like loving you and like worried about everything you post and do. So like you're just like, oh fuck, now I'm important. So like it kind of fools yourself to think that you're like way more important than the average person.
Yeah.
But after a while, like I've started to realize that like it really doesn't matter. You could still be consistently yourself and treat everyone the same, like no matter what you have as a following.
Yeah, like just from the outside, seeing how some celebrities get treated. And if I pull up to a place in a Lamborghini and I have all this money, and this outfit that I'm wearing is worth more money than you'll make in an entire year, and all these, I look at all my Twitter comments and they all tell me how amazing I am. Like I could totally see somebody like having a little bit of an ego trip, and that sucks, but it's totally human, and you can fault somebody for that. But if you understand, like, you know, try to put yourself in their shoes. And then like a lot of times people have that humble moment where they like get knocked down and they have to, you know, reevaluate themselves or whatever. But but then also some people never get that, you know. I love when you can tell that somebody just doesn't let it all go to their head, and they're like, I blew up this year, but if you see what I was doing last year, you can tell that I'm still the same person and stuff. That's always really nice to see.
That's a big thing that I want to do when I start to play with like, you know, big, like huge creators and start to meet like famous people, is like once they catch an ego, I want to like put them in their place. Like that's I'm going to be the guy that humbles other people, because I think it just needs to be said sometimes. And a lot of the times I don't even think people say it to like you said with like Dr. Disrespect. How many times do you think you would see somebody like say like, dude, like you're kind of full of yourself. Like you might need to be humbled. Like you might not even see that comment. Often. Yeah, and he might not even see it. But like, how many times has someone at the status of like Nick Merck said that to him? You know? Yeah. No, but like people don't do that. But I mean, when you get to a certain level too, like Dr. Disrespect's gonna treat Nick Merckx like a normal guy, so he might not have to say that. Yeah. But he might be. I'm sure Dr. Disrespect might be a good guy. I'm just using him as an example.
Right. Because that's his persona. Like I feel like he kind of brings that on himself, but it's a character. I have no idea how I don't know his last name, but I don't know who he is as a person. But I guess we're kind of just talking about his character. I mean, his name is Dr. Disrespect. I think he's bringing it on himself.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I don't know how he continues to stream in that outfit. Like that shit's got to be so hot.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm sitting here in my room.
I'm dying right now.
Yeah, like I'm about to go shave my head or something. Because if I have I think 2 episodes ago I left my AC on, and as soon as I started editing the pod, I was like, fuck. So my noise gate helped it a little bit, but still.
They need a hybrid. They need a hybrid, like some type of like AC that you just can't hear.
Yeah,
probably already out.
Well, there's like, if you have a house, then you can get central air, and then it's loud outside, but it's outside, so it doesn't really matter. But I live in an apartment, so I'm not about to install central air for the whole building.
Need to put a noise gate on your AC unit.
Yeah, I'll put a pop filter in front of it.
A big ass pop filter. It's fucking 6 by 6 feet with the coil on the end too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's funny. That would be a great Photoshop picture.
Yeah, it would be.
Photoshop, or what was it? Noise gate, or no, pop filter.
Pop filter, yeah.
Yeah, AC unit pop filter. That might, or something like that.
Yeah.
That might be a episode title.
Oh yeah, maybe.
We still have a lot of stuff to go through at 46 minutes, so let's jump into it real quick. Basically, the Dr. Disrespect got banned, and he put out a tweet. Basically, he didn't know what was going on, and everyone's like freaking out.
Is this the greatest mystery in Twitch history?
Maybe, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like, oh well, I guess we'll find out when we do. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Isn't that an interesting take?
We have to give a fuck. We have to pretend like we give a fuck for the next hour or half hour.
I don't care though. Like, who cares?
No, it is interesting though, because so much. It's because of for me, this is interesting because of the timing. So this past week, it has just, or the past 2 weeks, or I mean, basically the past history of man, we have found out that guys are generally, not generally, but there's a lot of scumbags out there, right? So over this past couple of weeks, allegation after allegation after allegation have come out of these people are sexual deviants, and they're harassing women, and they're being awful people, right? So I think that's where, like, that's just been it's come back, you know. So this is happening again. People are getting called out, and then Dr. Disrespect, if he has nothing to do with this, then it sucks that like I'm even implying this at all. But for the timing of him to just be totally banned out of nowhere, I don't think it's completely out of left field for somebody to assume like maybe some dirt came out on him or he did something wrong, right? So they haven't said anything. His wife was supportive of it on Instagram. So like, I feel like if it was sexual misconduct, then I would really hope that she wasn't supportive of him so far, or still, unless it was some kind of like, it could be some bullshit claim by someone that's just trying to like have their 15 minutes of fame or whatever, which is possible. But just for them to even give, for them to give Dr. Disrespect no, like, they haven't told him at all what it is. And so it's been people that do know, or that are at least kind of in the know, have said that it's not DMCA. I've said some people say that it is actually a really big deal. So they might be they're not allowed to say anything because it's being dealt with by Twitch, Dr. Disrespect, and maybe the authorities, like if that's needed. So there's been so many speculations, so many theories about him, like maybe starting a new streaming platform with Ninja, which I don't think is happening. It could be like, there's so many different things out there. And I am curious to see why, because he's a top 5 streamer on the platform, and he signed a multi-million-dollar exclusivity deal.
True.
So it's just like, it's such a big thing. People get banned all the time, but not anyone to his caliber. And to have no explanation, it's like, it is pretty crazy. And to me, who also doesn't give a fuck about anybody, it is like, it is really interesting. Like, it did grab my attention, and it's like, I am kind of looking forward to hearing why, because it's like, yeah, I just want to know. I don't care about anything until they tell me I can't know about it, and then I want to know about it.
Real quick on the whole like sexual allegation stuff that's been happening, dude. It's been crazy to find out like all these stories, because like I've been reading some of them.
Yeah, man.
It's like, it's funny too, because not the allegations, but it's funny to think about how like I'll have a bad feeling about somebody, and I'll be like, dude, something about them, like I don't know why I don't like them, like if it's their attitude or something, and then something comes out and it's about them, I'm like, dude, that's what it was. It was like my inner instinct, like something was fucked up, and it happened with somebody that was pretty big in the business. So I was just like, geez, like I'm glad I wasn't friends with them or anything. Like, all of this stuff. Like I don't think I followed too many people that got it like accused or had stories, but there was like a couple, like maybe one or two where I was like, oh, that's an instant unfollow. Like you did all this shit.
Yeah, it's crazy how it's like people with only a couple hundred followers are getting called out, and people with thousands and thousands of followers are getting called out, and everyone in between.
Yeah, and then like you said with the Dr. Disrespect, the timing of it, the fact that that he signed that huge deal that I totally forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that Twitch would just do that. It has to be something big if that happened.
Exactly. So that's why I think it debunks the rumor of him, Ninja, and Shroud creating their own platform.
Yeah.
Because why? Because especially with Mixer shutting down and how it shut down and why it shut down, for Dr. Disrespect to then, in the same year that he signed a multi-million-dollar contract, to then start a new company with no following and for no money, basically, at least at the start. Probably almost all businesses like that probably start at a negative. And the rumor that started it said that it was they were partnering with Spotify, which is owned by Google, which is not right. Google does not own Spotify. So like that's a big red flag too on that rumor. It's like it just makes no sense for him to do that. Ninja and Shroud doing their own thing, sure, that makes perfect sense. But Dr. Disrespect being a part of it, it doesn't make sense. You know, like I guess it's possible, but I don't see it. I really don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's been such a wild, just 7 months that it's I don't know. I am not even surprised with something happening that's crazy anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, what's gonna happen like today?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I guess I don't know. We probably won't know by the time this podcast is out, but if we do, I mean, we gotta find out sometime. It's not gonna go on forever. So
yeah, did you see? So I looked up the last the last few minutes of his last stream. I feel like he knew something was about to happen because it was because of his demeanor and what he said, and like it was really somber. Like you could tell, like something was like that. You could tell that it was gonna be his last stream for a while, or that he was just like he knew that something was gonna happen before he streamed again. Like it's obvious.
Wow.
He was like completely out of character. It was just like really, it was like a negative season finale or something.
Damn.
Like, yeah. So like
check it out.
Yeah. So I do feel like that's worth looking up just because it's odd.
I guess making me care about stuff, dude.
It's just interesting, man. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you want to talk about Ubisoft's new game that came out of nowhere?
Yeah, we could talk about it. Just I feel like it'd be quick because there isn't anything to say about it really.
Here, I'll just go over what I know then.
Let's do it
quick. Okay, so Ubisoft apparently has this game called Hyperscape that is going to come out in July, which it's technically July now. So later this month, it's going to be a free-to-play game. It's from the studio Rainbow Six Studios and Assassin's Creed. The beta is apparently going to come out next week. It's a cross-play title, and there's supposed to be a reveal scheduled for July 2nd, which is today as the podcast comes out. There's supposed to be a reveal, and then the reported release date is supposed to be July 12th. So it's coming in hot.
Yeah, it is. It is a free battle royale first-person shooter that is fast. That's all. Yeah, that's all we know about it. Yet another shooter that's marketed as fast. So that's all we know about it, really, aside from what you said. But I'm interested. Like it has that space, like cool futury aesthetic. Hyperscape is a cool name, I think. Battle Royale genre is like, even though it's crowded, it's still exciting. So I feel like they could be another bit, and it's Ubisoft, so they're gonna have like the budget and the marketing behind it. Did you see about all of the Twitch integration? Were you gonna mention that?
No.
Okay, so it's wait, no, you didn't see, or no, you weren't gonna mention it?
Both.
Okay, so it supposedly is also going to be really, really streamer friendly, where like the Twitch chat can actually influence a game. So
that's how Darwin's project was.
Yeah. So obviously, since these are all leaks, we don't know any details, but that'll probably be like, I feel like every game is marketed this way now. They're probably going to give it to a bunch of streamers and say, here, play this game. And it's going to be like like Twitch can maybe, I don't know what the chat can do, but the chat can influence the game, which is kind of, it's weird because like, what if you just want to play the game and you're not a streamer? So like, because you're not streaming, can Twitch, like, can Ninja's chat give him an extra boost of armor or something, and everyone else is just fucked? Like, how I'm curious of how this is gonna work, because it is interesting, but every other game that I've seen implement some kind of chat function, they're typically not that competitive, I guess. I mean, if you said Darwin Project did it, that game's competitive, but
yeah, like
sometimes they'll just do like song requests, or it's for a single player game or something like that. So it is interesting. Ubisoft, like, I think they have the talent to make a great game. So I definitely have my eyes on it.
This was definitely like out of nowhere too, which is cool.
Yeah. Ubisoft is also they're notorious for not being able to keep a secret at all. I feel like every single Ubisoft game ever has leaked. So, I want to know, like, if they were going to do like a surprise drop with the beta. Well, I guess if they said that they're going to announce it on the 2nd for a July 20th release, I think you said.
July 12th?
12th. Okay. So the fact that it's free and has crossplay, I think will also be really big for it. So now it's basically just up to whether or not it's a good game. That's going to be the end all be all.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to try something new, but do I think this is going to be my next main game? Probably not. Probably not, but it's always fun to try new stuff.
Yeah. So. I see a screenshot here. It says, revenue on in-extension bits purchases. Every time a viewer purchases Twitch bits when watching your Hyperscape stream, you will get a share of the amount. Motivations for viewers to subscribe. You can decide to open squad invite to subscribers only. Your subscribers get triple vote when voting on GM cards, whatever those are. So that's cool. Like, if it incentivizes people to spend money on your stream, like, at the end of the day, people support, like, the support is going to be great. So there's going to be a huge Twitch integration with this, so we shall see.
Yeah. All right, are you ready for the rapid fire? Do you have anything else you want to cover?
Nope, I'm good. I'm ready to fire rapidly.
Okay, so the first question I have is a good one. What's the perfect length of a video game? Playing the story mode, what's like good pacing for you?
Did The Last of Us 2 spawn this question for you?
Kind of.
So we are talking about like a single player story game?
Yeah.
This answer is boring, but it's a case by case basis, really. Like, people I feel like the general take is that The Last of Us 2 is too long, but I could have went another 25 hours with that game. So like, it really depends. Whereas like Persona 5, I played that game for maybe 40 hours and I really enjoyed all 40 of those hours, but eventually I know that I still have quite a bit of the game left, and I just like stopped playing it, even though I enjoyed it, what I was doing. Then there's other games that I think are perfectly paced, like South Park, The Stick of Truth. I loved every second of that game, but how it's set up, it's like a turn-based RPG. Usually those games are long, but that one's kind of short, but I thought it was a great length. Like, when I beat it, I was like, okay, that felt good. Like, I didn't want more, I didn't want less. It was perfect. I would have taken more because it was fantastic. But to give you more of like a concrete answer, anywhere between, like, now that I'm more of an adult, anywhere between 10 to 15 hours is typically
that's funny.
A good range. Why? Is that what you were gonna say?
Literally the exact same answer. Yeah. 10 to 15 hours is perfect, because unless you're playing a game where you like can upgrade your armor, and it's like, I don't know, maybe like there's some type of like multiplayer integration where you can kind of take your character like a Destiny thing, then like want to be able to put hundreds of hours into it, because if you really enjoy the grind, but like, just as like, if you're just saying like The Last of Us or like God of War, it depends too. Like you said, if it's like a masterpiece of a game, like a God of War, I could play that for 20-25 hours.
Easy. Yeah. I never wanted God of War to end while I was playing it. Once I could tell, like, okay, this is the final boss, I was like, damn, this is almost over. Yeah.
But like a typical game that's just like pretty good, like, like 10 to 15 hours. I thought Inside was perfect length.
Yes.
It was like, I don't even remember, like 7-8 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so that was like perfect. But yeah, 10 to 15 is like a sweet spot for me.
Yeah, like I said, it depends on the game. So with like a AAA game, 10 to 15 is usually where I go. But with more of like indie games, I like shorter indie games.
Yeah.
Because usually the indie games that do really well are the ones that stand out. And they usually stand out because of either their art style or they have a really cool like gameplay loop that grabs you. So like, for example, a game that I fell in love with earlier this year was My Friend Pedro. That game is fantastic for basically every reason. It was amazing. They nailed it. But if that game went on for like 20 hours, I'd be like, I get it, dude. Just end, you know, because it was like how the gameplay worked. It was super fun, but it was only super fun for like 5 hours. And that's exactly how long the game was. It was perfect. If they would have kept dragging it on, I'd be like, oh my God, dude, end this. I get it. But because it was a shorter experience, it understood this is our game. This is how we can like, this is our gameplay loop. We can add this power up or we can add this mechanic to mix it up a little bit and then it's over. And I thought it was awesome. Same with Inside, what you said. Journey, I beat Journey in one sitting and it was perfect. Like with games that stand out because of like one specific thing, I think those do much better because they're shorter.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
My first question, if you could become the god of something, like think Greek mythology, don't think
ElectricityWave.
Yeah, don't think like I'm the god, I'm a god of Apex. Don't think of it like
I'm a god at Twitch.
Yeah, so what would you want to be god of? Could you be god of, do you want to be like the god of fire, the god of war?
I need a list.
You don't have to, like, you can make up your own thing. Like if you want to be the god of thunder or pizza. Electricity, god of pizza, sure. So pick that thing. And then what new rules / guidelines would you add to that?
Like what's an example of a rule / guideline?
Like I'm the god of fire. So like this is how fire works. Like it gets put out by water. It works with oxygen. Like you kind of just determine like I control fire now. This is what happens. Humans can now just spawn fire out of their hands if they want to. I don't know. Just whatever.
Dude, I'm so greedy. I'd like to be a mix of everything.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
Because I would like want to be like, I'd want to be like the god of like space and time, and be able to like, I would want to be like Kratos, but with space and time.
Okay, I mean you could be like the god of space.
God of space, where like I have super strength. I can throw planets at people. I can, use black holes.
Well,
like
don't think about it just as like how you would fight somebody. Just think of it like, like Poseidon, he's god of the sea, right? He like controls the oceans and stuff. It's not just like, oh, he can fight people by shooting waves at him. Just like he rules the sea.
Yeah, I would just control the universe. I don't know. How the fuck do I explain that?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory, I guess.
I could just travel through space like at like the light speed infinity. So like just instant teleport everywhere. I could grow to the size of a planet. I don't know, just like, how like you would there'd be like you'd be on a river as a kid and there'd be rocks and you jump from rock to rock. I'd do that with planets.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, shit like that. I don't know. Just
space is your playground.
Yeah, I'd throw like an asteroid and try to skip it like you do on a lake, like on water, but it'd be in a black hole.
I don't know. See if I can skip this asteroid across this black hole.
I don't know. What about you?
I don't know. Like I don't really have a good answer for this one. I'm trying to think of one. I was just more curious what you would say. I think being the god of light would be cool, and just being able to think of like just different ways that
it'd be so annoying.
Would it be?
Yeah, it's fighting you because you just blind my ass. Yeah, well, I would actually throw a black hole back at you, just like because there'd be an absence of light. So that would be an easy clappers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why we have to fight.
Yeah, I don't know why it has to. We're not creating a fighting game. We're just like,
dude. You know what? Fuck you. I'm just kidding. I just get pissed.
Next week, my question is going to be: if you were a video game character, what would all of your moves be?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, now I feel like that's what I feel like that's what I want to talk about now.
Yeah, we should do that now. Your question should be, will you fight me right now or will you fight me next time we hang out? This turns into a fight.
I mean, my second question isn't very good, so we could do that instead.
Yeah, I'm down.
We can fight instead of asking a second question. No.
My second question is, which villain would you really like to play in a game?
Ooh, in a game?
Yeah, if they had a story.
Like, wait, so like I'm controlling the character, I'm not the character. Like, let's say they make a Thanos game, like you control Thanos and go through the game as him.
Yeah, his like basically what they did with The Last of Us, but like with the.
Okay. I got you. I think it would be really cool if they made. Dang, I really want to give a good answer to this question. What are villains that I've really liked over the years? Dr. Nefarious.
They should make a Venom game.
Yeah, Venom would be awesome. There's never been like a great Venom game, but Venom isn't really a villain.
Yeah.
One of my favorite villains ever is Dr. Nefarious from Ratchet and Clank, but I don't know if I'd want to play as him in a game. Because he's amazing.
I'm gonna look him up.
Dr. Nefarious?
Yeah, is it NEF?
Yeah, NEFARIOS maybe? Nefarious, maybe. He's just hilarious. Okay. Like, I love how they use him. I love his voice. I love how he can short circuit and then start playing like a soap opera out of his robot speakers. And it's like, it's just hilarious. I love Dr. Nefarious. But I don't, like I said, I don't think I'd want to like play a game as him because he doesn't have any like cool powers or anything. He's just a dick.
Real quick on that, do you think he's going to be in the new Ratchet and Clank or no?
I think so because I remember seeing him in the trailer. Like there was either a statue of him or he was on a TV screen in the background or something. I don't remember in what context, but he was definitely in the trailer. So he's definitely the main villain of the series, but he hasn't been in every game. Right. But it's been so long that I would like him to be in the game again. You know, it wouldn't be like, oh, we have to fight Nefarious again. Like I'd be like, yes, he's in here again. You answer because I can't think of a good one right
now. I think I mean you said my answer earlier. Probably being Thanos would be fucking sick. Just to like, dude, they could make the most badass fucking game ever if it was through his point of view.
Yeah, they could.
Just like traveling through space, just like finding every stone and like adding it to your Infinity Gauntlet, like the immersion of like putting it in your glove and the sound effect and like all of his moves and like, dude, that shit. And imagine that on Unreal Engine, dude. That would be well, I'm trying to think of any like villains or bosses that I remember in like games that were like really cool.
I don't know why I'm drawing out such a blank right now. Maybe because there hasn't been a great villain in a long time, but that doesn't sound right.
A cool one would be I forgot the name of it, but the Gears 5 boss.
Which one? The Mira?
No. Ram would be really sick.
Yeah, Ram would be cool.
But I was thinking of the big ass monster.
Oh yeah.
The girl.
Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
But that'd be sick to like go through that as her. I don't know.
Yeah, just like the mechanics of being this big ass thing.
Yeah,
I think would be really cool. I can't really give a good answer, even though I know there is one. This is one of those questions where I would really have to think over like every great villain and then just decide like, yeah, that's the one I want to do. Be a Zeus game. I think. So the original God of War trilogy is you just kind of kill every god. Like that's just your purpose is to get to Zeus and just destroy everything in your way. So I think being Zeus and formulating your game plan of like Kratos is coming after me. How am I going to deal with this? I think that would be kind of cool. And then having to fight him at the end and then change history by winning the fight, I think would be cool.
Yeah. I was thinking of that game too during my answer. I was like, being Zeus and God of War would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that sounds fun. I would want to do that, and just the gameplay mechanics of what you could do as Zeus would be crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Yeah. Do you want to do your second question, or do you want to do the what moves would you have?
Yeah, so that'll be my second question. Okay, so my second question is NetherRealm Studios, creators of Mortal Kombat and Injustice, are creating Twitch fighters. And ElectricityWave is the cover star athlete in the game. and you get to formulate your own move set. So what are your special moves?
Well, my ultimate is suck it from the back.
That's your fatal blow. Fatal blow.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
It just goes to a cutscene of me doing a 180, and then they're like on all fours, and yeah, I mean, you know the rest. Let's see. I would probably, one of like my throwables would be Dino Chicky Nuggies.
Okay, that's your projectile.
I would dip them in Sweet Baby Ray's and throw them at them, and they'd be distracted because they'd have to catch them in their mouth, and then I would just like destroy them.
That opens while they're eating it. They're open, like they can't block, so that opens you up for a nice little combo.
Yeah, exactly. And after a while, they start to get full, so it makes them a weak spot in their stomach. So it's like double damage.
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to think of other stuff. Oh, actually, yeah, my ultimate would be sucking from the back, but my alternate costume would be like me in the Zeus beard.
Yeah.
Maybe one of like my finishers would be like one of my dances where I just go crazy. I think punching and kicking is so like boring because everyone can do that.
Yeah, you gotta have your little like basic moves, of course.
Yeah, I would throw like lightning bolts and like waves, obviously. I could be a decent character, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What about you?
I would definitely have a weapon. I'm trying to decide if it would be a guitar or drumsticks. I think I would have 2 drumsticks would be my weapon. It'd be like Mortal Kombat style where I just bring it out for some attacks. I'm not holding them the whole time.
Right.
So I've got that. I can throw my projectile is I shoot music notes at you. Or no, my weapon is a guitar, and then my projectile is I like strum a power chord and it like shoots out a note at them. So
are you good in the game, or are you like just as good as you are IRL?
Oh, like can I shred? Yeah, I can shred in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually know chords in this game.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd play like a chord and shoot notes out. That'd be my projectile. I feel like that works pretty easily because like I could have an overhead of swinging the guitar over and doing stuff like that. I don't have like a brand really. Like you have ElectricityWave. You have so much to work with. I'd be such like I'd be the striker of this game, just like some basic ass character.
Your ult would be you would like summon yourself in a stadium with that person, and then you would crowd surf, but you would belly flop right on them and smash them.
That'd be dope. And then people would like mosh on top of them.
Yeah, they'd be like encore.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm into that.
That'd be really cool.
And then I would definitely have some wrestling moves mixed in there too. Like Jax in Mortal Kombat, he has like the burning hammer and some wrestling moves like that. So I'd be able to like RKO someone maybe, or just do like some of my favorite finishing moves in wrestling. I would want to add that in there as like my grapples and stuff. Yeah, that'd be me.
Seems pretty sick. I'm down.
Me too. Twitch Fighters coming to a console and PC near you.
Dude, imagine how hype people would be for that.
That would be really hype. That'd be sick.
They would have like S tier fighters would be like the big streamers, or like they'd have different classes. Everyone would be pretty equal, like, so it wouldn't be OP,
right?
Like, but they'd have different classes. They would have like mainstream, then they would have like, I don't know, IRL streamers, and they'd have like podcasters, musicians, DJs, and then they'd have like follow for follow streamers.
Dude. Yeah, because at this point, like, everyone can stream. There's a streamer that does something else, Like, there's athletes that stream, musicians that stream, your blue-collar people stream, people that don't have jobs stream. So you'd be able to create a pretty diverse roster full of everything. There could be, like, some basic person that just, like, texts all the time or something, but he or she can, like, use their phone as their weapon. That'd be pretty cool.
Unlockable characters would be like Tryhard and PogChamp and Pepe.
Dude, yeah. Like in the early Mortal Kombat games, when you hit an uppercut, sometimes they'd have the little toasty guy pop up. Instead of the toasty, it'll be like a PogChamp guy pop up. That'd be great.
And then when you start throwing on like some banger DMCA tunes, then Try Hard comes up, and he's just like a crowd of him bobbing his head. Dude, I love that emote, the GIF emote of him. Like every time someone plays music, it's the Try Hard just bobbing his head. I'm like, dude, we're thumbing. We're thumbing
the DMCA free songs.
Dude, Hamlin's would have a great character in that game too.
Yeah, Hamlin's would have to be in the game.
Yeah,
he'd be just sus. Awesome. He'd be his fatal blow would be like fucking the guy and or something.
Dude, it
super sus.
A fight between me and him would just be a gay porn. It wouldn't even be a fight. It'd be so sus.
Yeah, it'd be the best fight though.
Yeah. Other than that, I think, dude, I'm about to melt into a pile of sweat. So like,
I think that's it, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
An hour and 50.
Yeah, this was episode 38, the cursed episode that we triumphed. Hopefully you're watching it by Thursday and everything gets uploaded.
It better.
Thank you guys for watching. If you don't, make sure you follow the Twitter C4OL podcast. C4OL podcast on Twitter. Subscribing on YouTube. It's on my YouTube. Obviously, if you're into that kind of stuff, you definitely want to watch the video because it gives you more of like an experience than listening if you have the time to watch it, because I know sometimes people just like to throw it on while they're doing something. Throwing in questions weekly helps. Liking, commenting, all that good stuff. Any support helps. Retweeting tweets and clips that we post on Twitter. But thank you guys for watching and listening. This was Chillin' for Our Lives episode 38. Make sure you have a great week. Appreciate you guys. We're out.